Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady and welcome back to a Whip, Spits and Chat 125. Crikey, I nearly aged the channel there. Come on, let's go and see what I've got for you today. Right, so I'd like to welcome in all the new crazies that have jumped onto the channel and gone ooh this week. And I'd love to welcome back all my old crazies. Thank you for coming back to me and seeing what new crazy stuff I've been up to. Right, so first up this week, we of course have our video roundup. This is bog standard normal. If you've already seen the videos, skip ahead. I know some of you do, but for those that didn't, the videos that I put out this week, the first one was a book review and it was the colourful, I cannot pronounce the word, colourful bags, and it was by Rianne, come on, bring up her name. Yeah, I can't pronounce that either, but there'll be a link up here in the I button to that video if you want to have a look. Now, these bags look brilliant. At first glimpse you would think they were mosaic, but they're not. It's, I think, single crochet. I will have to get that book out again and have a proper read, because there were a few in there that I really loved the look of. But yeah, so as I said, I button up there if you want to have a nose at that book. And remember, you can order it online in decent bookshops, and of course get it from your local library. There is links in the description box to where I've found the book so far. If you find any of the books in your country, in other words not in the UK, anywhere else in the world, please pop a message in that under that video, and then I will move your information over to the description box so it helps other crazies in your country. Okay, the next video up was the Thursday dye day. It is 01. So basically I'm going to be dyeing each Thursday if I can. It may not be every Thursday, but these videos will go out on a Thursday and they will be premieres. That way I can gain your I can see what your reaction is live to these colours, because that to me is a mega buzz. And it's nice when someone goes, oh, I like that one, or someone else goes, well, actually, Ange, that could do with XYZ. And they're the sort of things I like, and I love and crave the interaction from you guys, as you all know. Those videos on a Thursday will all be previews, or premieres, not previews, premieres, and they're going out at the moment at 4 PM GMT. I'm sorry if that is an awkward time for some of you, but it's the only time that I could find to slot in where there wasn't already a live that I wanted to watch. It's that simple. So it's at 4 PM GMT. The next video up was Happy Mail. It was a prize winning from our gorgeous V. Now, our gorgeous V's channel is Steals the Show Crochet and Chefs. It took me a while to realise I've been saying it wrong for ages. Sorry, V. There will be a link, of course, in the description box of this video that will take you over to V's channel. Go and have a know. She is bat crazy. I love her to bits. Absolutely bat crazy. Okay, now, what have I been up to this week? Well, last week I showed you these socks that I'd made using the hand-dyed yarn. Now I've got to come in here. There it is. Now, I popped to see one of my crazies this week. Absolutely lovely to be able to sit down and have a brew. I was dropping something off for her. And I'd said to her, I'd really like to try knitting with this yarn, because I want to see the difference between it. And she went held up, and she come out with some knitting needles, grinned, doing, here you go. So I came home knowing full well that I know how to do a basic cast on, and I know how to do one stitch, but I couldn't remember what it was. Turns out I looked it up. I can only knit, stitch. That'll do. But the funny thing is, I haven't picked up a set of knitting needles for 22, nearly 23 years, because the last thing I made was a baby blanket for my daughter, which was made in panels, and it was black and white panels because I could I only knew how to change colour at the ends. I didn't know how to change it midway and carry or anything like that. So it was black and white little squares that was made in panels, so it looked like scarves, and then I sewed it together, like sewed the sides together. Then where my sewing was really dodgy, I added a little patch that had cross stitch attached to it. Like I'd cross stitch these little patches and I sewed them on in the places where there were holes and other mistakes. Yeah, it was like that. And then I bagged it with some material and popped a green ribbon around the outside, because when I made it I didn't know if the baby was going to be a boy or a girl, and so I had to keep it very neutral, but I didn't want to go down the normal route of lemon or mint green, even back then. So getting back to it, I haven't got any knitting needles here, they went years ago. And so my gorgeous girl gave me a set that she'd got free off of magazine, because I said to her, I only want the free stuff, don't like your freebies that you've got piling up, I don't want anything you've actually paid for. And she's like, yeah. So she gives me a batch of knitting needles, and I've got 3 different sizes to play with. She's evil to me. I was hoping she'd stick to the one, and then that means I won't veer off. But oh, sorry, family's up now, so you'll hear a bit of noise. But here it is. Here is my little test panel. It is little, as you can see. It's really diddy. Come on, camera, focus in. There we go. And yes, I know my casting on was really loose, but this was the very first time I'd knitted, as I said, in 20 plus years. So I was quite impressed. And looking at the difference between the how it knitted up, this was knitted on a 3mm knitting needles. These were made on a 3mm crochet hook. Now these are a lot more sturdy, and the material seems thicker than this one. This one is very stretchy, so I can now, just doing it like that, I can see why there is such a big difference between a knitted sock and a crocheted sock, and why most of our crochet socks will be sort of bed socks or house socks or whatever you want to call them, whereas the knitted ones you'd wear in your shoes and you'd go out. You know, these ones only for winter. But yeah, I thought I did actually enjoy doing that, and so much so I'll put the other sock back as well. So much so I ended up picking up another one of the yarns that I dyed with the Audi dye, because I'm not going to be selling those ones off, and I cast on, and I tried a type of cast on, which was called, oh, what's it called? It's called the long tail cast on for beginners. I will pop that in the description box down below. I found it through a channel called Sheep and Stitch. That was that. So I tried it, and I was just like, you're joking, aren't you? That was so quick, because to me it felt more like crochet. Now I have found this easier to do because of course my left hand is normally my tension hand when it comes to crochet, but I'm holding the yarn with my right hand and keeping my tension with my right hand when it comes to the knitting. So for me that has been a lot easier to do, which has meant that yesterday during our DD's live I cast on 100. Look how cute that is. I wish I'd left it over 2 needles, but I didn't. Oh, hubby's packing. Yeah, so here we go. So I am attempting to make something. I don't quite know what. I've also now learnt how to decrease as well. So I'm thinking, I'm attempting to do what Dee calls a do-rag. We'll call it a headscarf. So I'm attempting to do that. I'm not doing too bad. I don't even know how many rows I've done, but when I started I did do a couple of complete rows before I started any decreases. I think I did 4 rows before I started my decreases, and if you can see there, look, it's gonna be a triangle. She says hopeful. I've just got to make sure I keep it out of the way of Liam, because there's 2 things with this that he loves the most: chasing balls of yarn and eating lumps of wood. So yeah, definitely got to keep these away from Liam. Okay, so this week's dye video had a mixture of different yarns in. I'm gonna only be able to show you this the once, or some of these the once, because somebody's already nabbing them, or they're at least earmarked. Right, I've just got to wait to see if she likes the cost of postage. Couldn't help that, couldn't do nothing about that. Right, so the first set of yarn that I dyed that I'm selling, although I really do love it, I'll just have to do it again. These are 3 yarns here. Now, one I did on the table with the spray bottle. I am spoiling the video slightly for you, but I still had a lot of fun, so pop over and have a look if you haven't managed it, okay? You'll just now know that the mystery is purple. Okay, so we had the one that was done on the table with the spray bottle, and then we had the 2 that were done in a shoebox. Yep, stuck them in a plastic shoebox with the dye and hope for the best it did something. Now these have become variegated, so there are one end is darker than the other, so I'm pretty chuffed with how 3 of those came out, and they're not showing up too badly on camera this morning. Okay, now I need to know. I need to record at 7 o'clock in the morning with next to no light outside, and everything's fine. Okay, so gotta be careful. And so of course, so those were the 3 that are being sent out. The 3 that I'm keeping, because of either little flaws or the fact is I got confloged. And these are only mini hanks. And the little ones that I did here, the little minis. Now I'm not going to be selling the little minis on because it's a waste of postage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet and knit these up so we can see what they look like, so that if you like them, I can hopefully attempt to reproduce them, but in a larger scale. So they will only ever be in either the 50 gram 50-50 mix or the 100 gram 100% cotton. Oh, brain cell. And I've also been playing around on the computer. Sorry, I've just got to find them. Also been playing around on the computer. They got labels. So on the labels you have, of course, the yarn weights, how many meters you're getting per hank, recommended needle or hook size, and your washing machine instructions, and which is the temperature which is written out, and of course you've got all the little symbols as well that correspond to the yarn that you'll be getting with the label. So it looks so strange as seeing my little Poppy, because that's what she's called, my little Poppy, there she is, in print. Look at that. So what do you think? I'm so chuffed, but then I'm a smug toe rag because I've never seen it in print, and when it came out the printer I'm like, that's so cute. So there we go, all labelled up. These are the little 50-50 remembers. Okay, so in regards to the dyeing video, there will be a new one that are coming out this coming Thursday at 4 PM GMT. It's set as a premiere, so pop over to the channel in a little bit and make sure you earmark your seat so that you can see what's coming out straight off, and during the video or near the end of it of course will tell you which ones I'm going to flog and which ones I'm keeping. Gotta keep some, surely. Right, so that's breakfast over and done with. Yay for editing. I popped up to see our boys and girls up at the local pub to have our Royal British Legion and brekkie, where all the guys, of course, the main speak for this breakfast today was, of course, the loss of our beautiful Queen and our new King. So during the breakfast, of course, the Accession Council and Principal Proclamation was playing over on Sky One, over on the BBC, which was up on the screens, so we all pretty much sat in silence and watched that whilst eating our breakfast. Very, very weird feeling at the moment over here in the UK. Some are, like me, sitting and are watching with bated breath to see what is happening. Others aren't too worried, but it's a personal choice. But in my opinion, she was a mum and a grandmum first, so that's where I sit on the will they won't they. It's up to them. Picked it up, started doing, forgot it was a decrease row. Now I've got to go back and undo it. 60 odd stitches. I'm not gonna drop a stitch. I'm not gonna drop a stitch, and I'm gonna try and concentrate. But I just thought I'd show you so that you can have a giggle. Yeah, I think I'll stop recording now and concentrate again. Oh, and don't panic, this will be a crochet channel. I'm not going to be mixing it up. There's a lot of practice needed before I start doing any proper knitting now, isn't there? So now I'm back to do a bit of editing on this video, and then I'm running off to sort my bags out and everything for our overnight trip. So that is pretty much it for me for today. I'm sorry it's been short, sharp and sweet, but there's not really been a lot else that's gone on in the world of Poppy this week. So I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really, really soon. So please remember to stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Ta-ra for now, everybody.